How's it going? Alright. Hello. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun. Ba-da-dum. Do-do-dum. In the end of the last tape, the end of the other side, it was, let's see. Well, I'm not sure what it was. All I have marked here is, side 1, track 1 to 1-4, I recorded. And then it says here, side 2, track 1 to 4. I guess all the way through. Yeah, I was recording myself. And I turned it over to side 1, this where it is now, in 3-2. And I thought it would continue. But it didn't. From 0 to 53, it was me just messing around with the guitar. And it's not, I don't think I'm going to want to hear it ever again. I listened to it, it wasn't too good. But today's date is June 17th. It's a Sunday. I'm making this recording from Steve's apartment. I moved out of my house 4 days ago. Thursday or Friday or something, I don't know. But anyway, I came home from sleep the one day the other week, Thursday, Friday, whatever it was, and I went to sleep, took a nap, woke up. My father said from now on I have a curfew of 11 o'clock on the weekdays and 2 o'clock on the weekends. And it didn't matter whether or not I told him where I was going. That was the that's from now on was going to be the curfew. So I told him I was going to move out, and I did. I just packed my stuff, my clothes, and I took off. I called Steve, made sure it was okay that I move in here, and he said it was okay. So I moved in, and a lot of stuff happened in the last couple of weeks at my house that sort of helped me decide to finally get out. This one day I was supposed to, I had come home and I mowed the lawn, the front and the sides. That's what I usually mow. And then I used the sweeper. I used the bag. And I put it away. And then job is usually to mow the backyard without the grass bag. And he uses the ride-on mower for whatever that's worth. And so the next day I came home from work. I was really tired, and I wanted to go to sleep for a while, so I took a nap. And my father woke me up and said, mow the lawn. Told him I didn't want to. I'm about to run out of taper. Told him I didn't want to, and that I'd do it tomorrow, and that he should have asked me yesterday if he wanted me to do it. And I said I was tired and wanted to take a nap. And then he told me I could never touch anything else in the house that belonged to him. Now I'm going to let you listen to this now, because it's me and talking. I don't know when it was recording, but I'll be back after it's over. Back to now. It's a 6/17/79 again. Let's see now. I was talking about how I moved out. But the whole hassle, it's the same. It was the same stuff as it's always been. Having to go to church every Sunday. They raised my rent $5 one Sunday because I didn't go to church. I skipped church. And they found out, and my mom raised my rent $5 a week after that. And let's see. And I swear to God, they have people in church. See, I go to 4:30 Mass. I used to go to 4:30 Mass every Sunday. It's the latest Mass on Sunday. And when my parents, like if they knew or some other couple that they knew would be there, I'm sure that they would ask them to look for me, because I've skipped church knowing that my parents wouldn't be there, and I know that they haven't seen me like where I would go. Skipping church, I usually go to the mall or cruise around or whatever, and I know I never saw them then. So I think that either they had people looking for me in church, or maybe a couple times they saw me driving around. I don't know. But I'm 19. I was 19. I'm 19 now. I was 19 then. $10 a week rent. They raised to $5 from us in church. They got all the religious stuff. They're a marriage encounter. They got all that religious stuff all over the house. My mom's always playing religious folk music all day long. It drives me crazy. But I mean, it's her music. She can play it. I just don't happen to particularly like it. So there was that, and when I wouldn't mow the lawn for my dad, he told me I couldn't use any of his stuff in the house. Everything in the house that belonged to him I could not touch. And he told me that he owed me a place to stay. He said he owed me a room, and he told me I couldn't touch anything else that was his in the house, nothing that was his. And what was I gonna say? Oh, and he wouldn't pay for my college education anymore. You see, I dropped out for a year, and I'm not sure how much of this I've already told, because I know I haven't made a tape in a while, and I'm not sure how much has happened between then. I might be repeating things that you've already heard, but I dropped out after a year and a half, first semester, my second year. I dropped out, and at first I was going to drop out for a half year, and then I decided to drop out for a year. And I did already say this. I remember I just heard before myself talking about the Hilton, and I quit that job. I've been working there 4 months, I'd say, January, February, March, April. And I didn't get along too well with anybody there. I can't say there's anybody that I could talk to. I didn't have any friends there, really. And I never got to know the people too well. I was an oddball. Everybody thought I was weird, and I was strange. And I can't tell if I'm strange because I act strange on purpose, trying to be charming, which is probably what it is, or if I'm just strange. I know I'm intelligent, I know I'm smart, but I don't know why I act strange, and I do. And I get very uptight talking to people. And one person I can really feel comfortable with talking to is Mitch. Anyway, I quit that place on a Friday. The previous Thursday, I had a big fight with this other busboy. His name was and he's about my height, a lot broader. He's good looking, big bullshitter, and charming. He's got a nice looking smile. And he was popular. Everybody seemed to like him. Everybody took to him. The bosses and the other waitresses and the other people that worked there. And he singled me out as the one that he didn't like or whatever, or decided to pick on. And he would do weird, like he would steal a cord that I was going to use to vacuum with, and dumb stuff like that. He'd think of things to do just to bother me. All right, and it pissed me off. And I never really did anything about it, but it pissed me off. Anyway, this one day, I was going to vacuum. He came in, he said he needed the cord, and let's see what happened now. It was right before, I was just about to vacuum, like I had a minute's worth of stuff to do, and I was going to get the cord and start to vacuum. And he walked in, and I said, I'm using that, or I'm going to use it. And he says something like it's mine, or I'm going to take it, or something like that. And I said, well, return it when you're finished. And he goes, so maybe I won't. And I said to him, well, if you don't, then I'll just get it out of your closet tomorrow morning. He says, no, you won't. And I walked away with it. And I had no other cord to use or something. I'm pretty sure that's how it went. It's only 4 months ago, but it's kind of vague all of a sudden. But anyway, that's just part of it. After that, I really got bugged, And he came back out, and the next time I saw him, I said to him, I was saying something to him, And he said another like thing like you just try and get it, see if you can get the cord, something like that. And I said after that, he said, "Oh, by the way, Jay wants to know why you're kissing his ass all the time." And Jay was a guy that used to work in the kitchen. He was a cook. And John thought he was God or something. I don't know. He would spend all day long trying to bullshit him and charm him and smiley with him and friendly and buddy kind of shit. And Jay really could care less about him. See, that much I could tell. I could see myself. And what John really was doing, he was kissing Jay's ass all the time. And it's the truth. So I said to him, I said, Jay wants to know how come you're kissing his ass all the time. I said that to John. Just to piss him off. All right, Jay didn't ask that. I just said it because I was trying to think of a good way to get him pissed off and really really bugged, and that's what I thought of. So I said that to him, and he didn't say. He just looked at me for a minute, didn't say anything, and he walked in the kitchen looking for Jay. Jay wasn't in the kitchen. He had walked through the banquet room. He was somewhere else. So this is the end of the day, and I get all my stuff together. As I'm walking out to my car, I pass Jay. As I'm walking through the banquet room or through the hallway or whatever, I pass Jay going towards the kitchen. And I get out to my car. I haven't seen John, after he left looking for Jay. I hadn't seen him. I got out of the building, got into my car, look up, and there's John walking real fast, coming out right at my car. I started up and I put it in reverse. And my music turned on. It was on, and when the car started, it turned on. And I looked up, and I'm backing out real fast. And he's walking up, really pissed off, storming up to me. And with the music, I couldn't hear what he said, but like I backed up and I stopped and shifted into drive. And just, I'm about to pull away, and he's getting pretty close, and he points his finger at me, and he has this look, and he started screaming and threatening me. I didn't hear what he said, but I could tell what he's doing. He was threatening, like to beat me up or something. I can't remember if I heard him say he was gonna beat me up or if that's the impression I got. I don't know. But I knew that, knowing what he thinks about me, I knew if I showed up the next day, it wasn't gonna be easy to cope with him, whether he beat me up or not. I'm not saying I think he'd beat me up, but I'm not sure. It just wasn't worth it, and I didn't like working there, so I just never showed up the next day. Had no job, never showed up the next day. So looking for a job. About a week later, I went looking for a week, and I think there was no luck. About a week, a few days or so. So I went to a place called. It's an employment agency, and you don't have to pay them. And you just walk in, and they have a listing of jobs available, and you tell them what you're interested in, or what you've done, what you want to do, and they show you what they have. And they call the place for you and arrange the interview. And I went there, and the first place they wanted me to go to was a maintenance man, like outside of an apartment complex, cleaning up. And I didn't want to do that. So then she said there was a warehouse called that were hiring people. So I said, oh, I'll try it out. She called up, and I went over there. And I talked to the guy for a while, and the boss had only been there for 3 months. 3 weeks, and he said the place is all fucked up, and that for the past 7 years, that's how long the building's been there, the warehouse, the other managers never really had any kind of organization within the warehouse. They would take they would get shipments, truckloads, boxes and stuff, and they'd just throw them anywhere. They'd throw them in the aisles, they'd throw them in the racks, they'd throw them in the corners, anywhere, any floor space, everywhere. They just stick them somewhere, and they would rely on their memory to find it again. So I came in, and I was talking to the guy, the boss, and he was telling me about this, and he said he needed somebody, and he told me a few times that I seemed like an intelligent guy. He says, you seem like a smart guy, like an intelligent person. And he goes, and as he was talking to me, he did most of the talking, and I just agreed with him, and I asked him questions, and he showed me a chart, and he was saying how he wanted to use this chart and color code it with the type of product we have on each shelf. Like the chart would the chart would represent the racks that we use to put our boxes in. So he has this chart, and he wanted to have a color code system of what we had in each rack. That fell through. He kept on telling me I was intelligent, and then finally at the end of the interview, he goes, I'll tell you right now, I'm giving you the job. He goes, I don't want just another body. I mean, and he's saying stuff like, you're smart, and I need somebody to think, and who's going to be able to do this. Nobody else here really seems to give a damn. He goes, I don't want you to, I could hire a person to do heavy work. And he goes, the people out on the floor, that's all they are, they're just bodies. I want you to file, to tell me what I have. And he go through the building, tell me what I have, write it up on index, and file it. And that would be my job. And he said I start at 3 1/4. And this is a Thursday, I remember, it was a Thursday. Or Wednesday. And he said, can you come in tomorrow? And I said, well, can I wait until Monday next week, start out the week? And he said, sure. So that's what I did. Anyway, after about a week and a half, 2 weeks, he told me, and during this time, I hadn't been doing anything with the filing at all. He was giving me all these odd jobs. I'd work assembly line. I'd help out with the packaging of the products that we ship out by UPS. I'd be doing that. And just weird, odd jobs, cleaning up kind of jobs too. Straightening up boxes and going through the racks, seeing what we have, and putting labels on the actual skids so that you could go down the aisle and look up and see what was there. We didn't have the file, but we tagged everything. And okay, so for the last couple of weeks, I've been working there, I guess, a month and a half. I think I already said that. After 2 weeks, he told me I was going to get a raise, and that I would be, that I would have a file, and I'd be running receiving. That I would take care of all receiving. He was going to give me a desk by the receiving door. Everything that came in, I would sign for it, and I'd find a place for it, and see if the ladies needed it, and the ladies who packed the products, and assemble the kits that we send out. They would tell me. He goes, they'll tell you what they need, and you go through your file and see where it's at, and you get it, and you bring it to the ladies once we get this place straightened out. So basically, that's what my job is. I'm probably getting a quarter raise, so I'm getting up to $3.50, but I hope to have $4 within the next couple of months. $4 an hour. And I think I'm going to work there until January, if I can manage to go to school in January. I can't afford it. I don't think, unless I take a loan, and I don't want to take a loan from the bank or from the government, because I'm not sure I could ever pay it back. And if my father doesn't pay, and I'm hoping maybe I can, he was kidding or changed his mind and he will pay for the rest of my tuition. I don't know. But if he doesn't, I don't know. I want to go back to school. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let's see now. I've been living in this place for 4 days or so. It's Steve, Mitch, and me. We sleep anywhere. Like, I sleep on the couch or the bed out here in the living room. I want to sleep in one of the 2 beds in the bedroom or whatever. And things are going along pretty good. I got my music and my clothes here. That's all I really need for now. And food. I want to tell you about how things have been going in my personal social life after whatever. I'm going to let this go right here. There's something else on the tape. I'll leave it here. Yeah, back here again, 6/17/79. I've been feeling really down, really depressed for a while. I keep on getting the feeling that I can't talk to anybody. People think I'm weird, and I know I act strange, and I know I'm not strange. I know I'm smart. But I can't understand why I'm always acting differently than the way I feel. And I don't understand why it matters to me what other people think of me. But it does. I can't think too good today. I bought some speed yesterday from this guy at work. I got 15 hits for $10. They were there were capsules, and one half was solid green, one half was solid white, and it was the label on the capsule was lemon 277, I think. Anyway, I got to work and I didn't know. Yesterday was Saturday, I had to work overtime. Got to work and I didn't know that Tony, the guy that works there, was gonna have it. He pulled it out of his pocket and he had 100 hits in the baggie, and he said he was selling it for $1 a piece. So I said, give me two. As soon as I saw him, I said, give me two. So I took two. Hour later, didn't feel too much, and took another one. He had given me three. I took another one an hour later. Still didn't really get off. And 10 through 11 o'clock, he said, so how you feeling? Did you get off on those? I said, no, not really. These aren't too good. Well, here, take two more. Take them, and tell me what happens. So I got it. After I took those two more around lunchtime, I felt pretty good for about an hour or two. And then I just kind of felt bummed out again. Until I got off from work, then I was all cooking again. And I came back to the apartment, and yeah, during the course of the day, yesterday I took 13. During the course of the day, I'd taken 13 hits yesterday. I took 5 at work, came home, and I had 10 left. So I'm not even sure how the sequence, but I remember taking my last 2 at a party I went to last night. I'll get to that. And I gave Mitch 2 hits. And then I took 3 as soon as I got home from work. 2 more later on. Maybe another one before the party. And then at the party, near the end of the party, I took 2 more. But it's only because, like, the party was at this, I was at this house, and Lori's friend was graduating from the high school. So we all went down there, Lori, Mitch, and me. And I got there, and as the party was just about to end, and people were talking about going to the shore. And that's what ended the party. So I took the other 2 hits, and it was only about 10 o'clock, I guess. So I was feeling pretty good. And I hadn't eaten all day, but I was feeling good. And at the party, the only people I knew were Lori and Mitch. And from what I understand, Lori doesn't think too much of me. Wait a minute, I think somebody here.